Ever since Fontaine released, it really has felt like a breath of fresh air since Sumeru. To me, Fontaine is what Sumeru did right, without all of the bad stuff that happened in Sumeru. And to me, Fontaine just seems like another monster. Now, to some people that sounds bad, but I have really, really good reasons to explain myself why I think this way. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and all that beautiful subscribing stuff. And if you have got any complaints about me in the comments or what I'm saying, please let me know in a respectful tone. As always, this is my opinion. And if you get angry, then just remember that it's what I think, and if it makes you feel better, think that I'm stupid. Anyways, I'm gonna start with the wishy-washy. Let's just begin. When I first started exploring in Fontaine, it really felt like it was the most fun I had exploring since like Mondstadt. Now, I really think this is because of the downshift in difficulty and complexity of the puzzles compared to Sumeru Desert, at least. Saying that Fontaine's puzzles were harder would be a very big lie, because most of them were very easy and very simple. And they really just bring back the feeling that Monster had. It was literally going around, solving a simple puzzle, and that's that. You got your chest, you can move on. With Sumeru, it felt like you had to do some like extraterrestrial mathematical calculations in order to get any fucking chest. And it hurt. That's why I never explored, because it just took way too long. But with Fontaine, it seems like you can get 100% in most places really, really quick. I mean, even I've got 90% in most of the locations, with only the 2 new regions below 90%. Most of the exploration being underwater as well made it really fresh, because now you didn't have to do the same thing you did for like the past few years to get chests. You now had completely new mechanics to work with, and it made chests just 10 times better. I literally stayed up nights and nights just to get Fontaine exploration in, because it was that fun. And the leveling up the Fountain of Lucine and the Statue of the Seven just actually felt really rewarding for me. That might just be biased, but I really enjoyed it. Unlike the other regions where I always looked at like the variant of the tree, like the Vanarana tree and the Electro or Sakura tree, or whatever it's called. Like those did not feel as rewarding, but with Fontaines, I feel like I can do a little bit of exploring and I'll feel rewarded, because I can go to the Fountain of Lucy and actually claim rewards. Whereas in Sumeru, I'd be wandering around the desert, like hoping to find a chest, and after what felt like, you know, like an hour of playing, I'd go back and I'd be lucky if I could even claim it once. No hate to advanced puzzles if you're into that sort of thing, but I think there's a difference between an advanced puzzle and a good puzzle. Because I like puzzles, I like making my brain have to work for something. But when it's something that you just completely cannot understand without looking up, it's just a bit stupid. I really felt that the difficulty downshift in Fontaine was a really big necessity for the exploration, or else it would have just been, you know, washed. I'm sorry for the joke, but it literally would have been washed if it was similar to Sumeru in any way. But honestly, exploring Fontaine really reminds me of Mondstadt, and I love that feeling. You know, simple, fun puzzles that I just feel great and rewarding for doing. I like that. I like exploration. I like exploration in Fontaine. It is a massive W. Now let's move on to character writing. To me, no other character's writing stands out as Farina. Farina is such a well-written character, and the whole meaning behind her writing, and just the fact she put a personality on for that much years and stuff, it is so great. It is such a good plot point that it really deserves a compliment. In my opinion, anyways. I really hope other regions learn from Fontaine. We only have Natlan and Shiznaya left. There's not much time left, really. But I think Genshin can really well adapt to those regions. And I have really high hope for them too, because if they know what they did good in Fontaine, then if they apply that to newer regions with better puzzles and just better exploration, I think the game could become 10 times better than it currently is. Anyways, sticking to character writing. Even though the story felt like it dragged at times, I think the whole plot point and mystery behind everything was done so well, and every quest led at a point where you were always wanting to play the next one. But as I'm making this video right now, after the 4.2 quest, it kind of feels complete now. So I'm really, really curious on what they're going to do next with the quest, because I feel like the new Villette and the Farina chapter are both complete. Now, onto my gameplay compliments. The gameplay shift and the way it adapted with HP and HP decreasing and increasing was so well done in my opinion. This is because of the new artifact domain, the one that gives crit rate when HP is lost. Artifact domain with the elemental skill flower as well. It is so efficient. If you farm for that set and get a good set, any Fontaine character can use it. As of right now, I'm pretty sure every single one. Maybe not Lynette, but Lynette's an exception. Pretty much every 5-star in Fontaine can use that set. And there's a lot of really good 4-stars. And look, Yay Miko, the 5-star, which can use the elemental skill set. And obviously now Farina, which is the best in slot. So you can't go wrong farming that set, and I have not regretted putting my resin into it. In Sumeru, I felt like there were some artifact domains that were really terrible for farming, such as the one with Scaramouche, such as the one with Wanderer's artifacts and the one with Nilu's artifacts. I feel like those two domains are extremely insufficient, as the only artifacts that's good on those characters is pretty much the character itself. I don't disagree with signature sets and like sets being like best in slot on characters, but in my opinion, they need to be more diverse. And in Fontaine, that's what I feel like has been brought in. Obviously, we've only got one set so far, so there's really, you can't judge, one set on the whole region. Look at Sumeru. The first one was the Deepwood one, alongside the Elemental Mastery one. I feel like that was amazing. Those sets can be on so much characters, it is magnificent. So we're really just gonna have to wait and see how it plays out. But so far, with that one set alone, I'm impressed and I'm happy that they go in this direction. The HP mechanic also just feels really, really fresh. It feels like now you have to look at a whole new part of the game when you're using those characters. It feels like you have to like maintain a whole new mechanic of the whole game. It used to be look at your energy, when your energy's done, wait for the right moment and then burst. Now you have your HP ticking down, and specific characters get different buffs based on their HP. Some you have to be as much HP as possible. Some you have to be like somewhere in between, like Riesly with the 60% thing. That is confusing to me, so I'm not even going to speak on it. Another gameplay standpoint, the Spiral Abyss is so much better improved than Sumeru. I felt like in Sumeru, the Spiral Abyss, you had to have at least one Dendro team or you wouldn't be able to do it. And I think 4.0 or 4.1 was the first time I actually 36 starred the whole Abyss. And it felt refreshing. Like, I was like, okay, this looks more like an Abyss, because I could actually use my teams on it instead of being forced to use a Dendro team. I mean, I might just be salty because I don't have a proper Dendro team yet. That's just because I'm lazy and I don't play the game and I've got too much course to got my ass to really be able to put that much investment in the game. Like, right now, I'm like on 7 million more. That's just, like, I haven't. I've been barely spending resin these days. I feel like the game right now is slowly getting back towards its peak. It's slowly getting better and better. And I really see the game coming back to being like amazing. Like in Sumeru, I admit I kind of started quitting towards like 3.4, 3.5, I think. I quit for a while because it was just, I just couldn't. But like late Sumeru, like right before Fontaine was coming out, I got back on. When Fontaine came out, I had an amazing time. Basically, if it's top 2 region, I'd say. I don't really know if I can put it number 1 yet, because it hasn't been out fully. So far it's really good region. I've been having way too much fun exploring on it and grinding out quests and doing all this stuff. That about wraps up this little ramble. I wanted to talk about Fontaine for a little bit and what I like about it. And overall, I'm pleased with it. So far, it hasn't been out fully, so I can't make a proper judgment. And as always, thanks for listening to me, app. Of course, subscribe and like the video too.